For the YouTubes? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
What about for YouTube?
No, for Netflix. Bebop.
Echo.
Gosh, gotta get a harmony going.
That's
Do
the
what?
chick's
Do
name in the movie.
Echo?
Yeah, because he first sees her and talk down the well.
wow.
He's like, "Is this my echo?" And he gets a response, "Yes." Anyway.
Ooh, that'd be weird.
Well, synchronicity things.
Okay.
Okay, so our next movie is my movie. It's the Red Violin.
The last sail of the evening, the star of the night, the so-called Red Violin. Who will start us off?
Prophecy foretold of a masterpiece
Maestro.
that would be born of tragedy. It foretold of a journey that would call forth a prodigy.
These peoples from the Vals have given us some figures. So what we need now is
Professional opinion. You ever heard of the Red Violin?
Sure, I have stories.
What you're saying is anyway true. People could get a little excited.
Destined to wander across the ages and never to rest.
Victoria, I need you.
Its song of seduction could inspire genius, but also betrayal.
Oh, sluttish muse. Who is she? Quiet!
This is the single most perfect acoustic machine I have ever seen.
While some would condemn its beauty, others would risk their lives to preserve it.
Is our little red violin the red violin?
Now, the time has come
Guess I never thought I'd find it.
when it will reveal itself once more.
Here she is now, Lot 72, the so-called Red Violin.
Its beauty bewitches. Its perfection astounds.
600,000,
Its mystery endures.
700,000, 1,100,000, 1,300,000, 2,400,000. So,
The Red Violin.
So the idea is that it starts in 1681 in Cremora, Italy, and it's a violin that has this. It travels through time. It travels through 4 countries, and 4 centuries and 5 countries, and it ends up in an auction in Montreal, 1997. That's when it was supposed to be the auction. The beginning of the movie is really interesting because it starts, basically it's a tarot card reading. It's a tarot card reading, and it doesn't actually make any sense. This woman is about to have a baby. She's nervous. This is the Italian woman in this small village, and she's married to the guy who makes the violins. It's supposed to be a Stradivarius. I mean, that's kind of where they get the idea from, but apparently it was inspired by a historic 1920 Stradivarius violin nicknamed the Red Mendelssohn. There was...
No, 1720.
What?
1720.
What did I say?
1620.
Oh, yes.
1920.
Oh, yeah.
The red
17.
the red Mendelssohn Stradivarius. That's what it's
Yes. Yes, exactly. The soundtrack is amazing. I was saying to George, I mean, it sounds like, I guess they couldn't use the classical music because it wouldn't even been written at that time. Do you know what I mean? Did Paganini even write something of that? You know what I mean? It was like, so, I mean, everything is just amazing. Joshua Bell plays the
score,
violin.
the soundtrack, yeah.
He does the violins.
All the solo violin
solos.
pieces.
He's amazing, but it goes through time, and it goes through all this lifetime. But then there's this kind of thing going on at the end too, where all these people are at this auction and they want this violin. Samuel L. Jackson is the he is the guy who goes and goes, yes, it is that one, or he's
appraiser,
the,
like an
he's,
appraiser.
yeah, he's the expert, the appraiser.
And present day, right? And
Yes,
Yes.
present day.
yeah.
So basically, it's going back and forth all the time, and it's also going back to the tarot cards reader, her reading all the time as it flips over a card, and it tells you and how that manifests. So I love this movie. I just can't rave about it enough. I think it's a work of art, and it's wonderful. So
I liked the movie. I didn't love the movie. I liked it because it's a very beautiful movie. The one thing you don't realize till the end is the tarot card reading is really about for the violin.
For the violin.
It's
something I loved. Yeah.
And the young pregnant girl is not kind of getting it because it's not making sense to her. But really, the tarot card reading is about the violin's
yeah.
life. And that's what you see, the life of a violin.
but it's also entwined with hers.
Just, yes, at one part.
No,
And there's no like mystery, so we can say it. Is that it has such
No,
a
it is.
unique-
It is a mystery.
Oh, I didn't
In
think
the
it
end,
was a
it's
mystery.
like a spoiler alert because then you realize why
It has such
the
great
tarot
tone.
card
Like-
readings. She's telling you this is your life, and the tarot cards readings.
Oh, I see what you're
Each
saying.
card shows a specific lifetime.
But it shows you why.
But it's just at the end why it's showing her
Why
that
their lives are
why it's her
entwined.
lifetime. And
Yeah,
it's really
why
the
their
violin's
lives are
lifetime.
entwined, but I still think it's the violin's life
Okay.
that
It is.
Right.
It's actually.
But I
written-
understand
that's
what you're
written.
saying. That's true.
The writer
Yeah.
said, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I understand what you're saying. Not to give the spoiler alert. It and the violin playing is great. I kept noticing because when I was a kid, I had to play violin, and I was going to look up. Are they really playing the violin? Because their hands fingering was right on target. You know, and the
that's
bowing.
good. That's good direction. Make sure
Even
it
the little
happens.
kid, especially the little boy, the first little boy, which I love that story the best. It's kind of like 4 parts, you know, different people going to different people. But you see the heart of the violin, and that's what I think makes the movie so good. But what I didn't like was the ending. I thought it was weak, like those strong endings.
It was weak.
Yeah,
Okay.
weak. Yes, weak.
I love this movie. It's just beautiful. You know,
Yeah,
it's
that's the
just
perfect word
it's a
for it.
beautiful telling of a story. You know,
Yeah, I
it's
agree.
amazing to me. I love the concept that the color is.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
the blood, and it's like carrying the wife's life force throughout these centuries,
Right.
Which is awesome. It actually is. The tarot cards are the life of the violin, not the woman. The writer says that.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you that it is because the writer
saying you're
himself.
right.
But it's the blood
Yeah,
that carries through. So it's kind of like what you're saying.
They're
goodbye.
connected, yeah.
yeah.
Goodbye.
So
Okay, I
it is
get what you're saying.
connected, but
Yeah.
but
I
the
get it.
writer of the
And remember, he
says,
brushed it on. He made a brush with her
Right.
hair, and he painted. This cannot go in there because I'll give it away.
Right.
But you know what I mean?
No, yeah.
the auction where the 4 centuries are defined by the people bidding.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
is awesome as well. The music,
Unbelievable.
yeah.
Unbelievable.
I mean, come on. The love, the eeriness, the romantic travels about an object.
Yeah.
The violin's really the star of this movie.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's actors, of course, but the violin is really
The star.
the heart. I think
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
someone said the heart of the that's the heart of the movie. It's like that's its own character. Yeah, beautiful movie, beautiful.
Yeah, to me too. It's a masterpiece. Just the way
good
everything,
word.
the way it was put together. It's just like the violin is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
How she's reading the girls her tarot, and each tarot represents a lifetime, a particular lifetime of this violin. And if you notice when she pulls it out, they go how they connect the movie where she pulls out the tarot and then tells her you're gonna do this, and then you show the violin what it's doing at that time period.
Right.
She pulls out no tarot, oh, this represents this is happening to you, and then they go into another story in a different time period, and this is what's going on with the violin, and it's like five different stories connected,
Yeah.
and it's just the lifespan of this violin that her soul is connected to.
Right,
In a way. So
right.
so you say it's your story, but it's the violin story that your soul is in, and you're carrying it. The music, the scenes, everything. Yeah, I loved everything about this movie.
Beautiful, I think, is the perfect
And what's interesting
description.
because and it was inspired by that story that Red Mendelssohn, that Stradivarius, because that disappeared for 200 years. Nobody knew what happened to it, and then it popped up in Berlin in 1936, and then
So that was after World War One.
yeah, and then
Interesting.
the heir to PPG Fortune, she bought it at an auction. She's 16, I think.
Oh, wow.
And then
wow.
didn't tell anybody, and then but she's a billionaire. This is a billionaire fortune. And then she studied, and once she got a little better known, I think maybe in the 90s, and she introduced, oh yeah, by the way, this is the Red Stradivarius violin. So what? And she performed with it. There's tons of videos on YouTube. You can watch her perform with this violin.
Wow.
Oh wow, that's cool. That's cool.
So yeah, I love this movie. This is like Susie's one. I would say my top 5 movies, favorite movies that.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that was amazing. But it was really hard for me to tell you all the actors in it because
So many.
other than Samuel L. Jackson and of course, and
The auctioneer is a famous actress that we would know.
But the 4 people who are consistently through the movie are Carlo Cecchi,
He plays Niccolo Bussati, la Cremona. He's a luthier.
Yeah, and Irene Gazioli. Is that right? Irene Gazioli. And she
Grazioli,
plays the
Grazioli.
wife, Anna Bussetti.
What I was gonna say was like you were talking like you didn't like the ending of it, but I was thinking that to me the ending makes sense because it's continuing its
Continuing.
journey. It's continuing its journey.
That's
as
true.
opposed
That's
to sitting
true.
on a wall. Spoiler alert. It's
Well, I'm glad he stole it. That's for sure.
It's continuing its journey. It's going
That's
somewhere.
a spoiler.
It's
I'm sorry.
yeah, right. And then guess what? And then he sees dead people. and then Bruce Willis is dead. The violin is dead.
Okay, before you interrupted me, I was saying there's actually 4 people all through the movie,
That's true.
and that's the violin maker, which is Carlo Cecchi, the actor is Irene Grazioli, and the person who's doing the cello, her Anita Lorenzi, and then Samuel L. Jackson. They're all the way through the movie.
That's true.
Everybody else, when you're in Germany at a certain time, it's got a whole cast. And when you're in
China?
England,
Yeah.
it's got a whole cast. So there's so many people that I can't. But those 4 people are consistently all through the movie. Yes.
And what's amazing about the composition too that they have the different time periods in the music that they write for it too, like the gypsy music.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
When Caspar, the little kid, that's the very Vivaldi-ish, the score. And and then the Frederick, the kind of Jim Morrison type character. He's Paganini. I mean, he's clearly, and the piece that he plays is based on a Paganini, the Caprice number 24. I think number 5,
Right.
but it's identical. It's like, oh yeah, that guy's supposed to be Paganini. So they create some kind of his classical historical characters that they brought into
Right.
it, and it was big.
Yeah, there was also something with that violin that had to do with passion. Like whoever has it also
gets consumed by it.
is,
It affects their life.
consumes by it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think and that's where I think that the ending and the beginning, right, is like, because his, it kind of reminds me of not like Water for Chocolate, where remember she's crying and that everybody is like crying after they're eating the wedding cake, because it's the same thing. It's like everybody who plays it feels his grief,
Right.
his and gets consumed by it, right? But so
Yeah, you see like the boy, he sleeps with it. He's totally consumed with it. The Paganini guy he's like the girlfriend's like, you're more in love with that violin than me, kind of when he shoots it. And then there's the Samuel L. Jackson and the Chinese lady too, how it's affecting her life, and she's trying to save it because how China's changing.
Right.
And Samuel L. Jackson, when he sees it, he's just taken obviously because he knows the violins. So how everybody's falls in love with this instrument.
But he kind of saves it. Like when people say things like that guy said, I would give anything to have this violin. He goes, you would? What would
Yeah.
you do with it? He goes, well, I'd take it apart and I'd
I know,
whatever.
scientific, you know.
And it was like, I do that
And
to
he goes,
it.
you don't get it.
And the Russian guy, right? He played it, and it was like, it's all right. And he was like, he's like, okay, it made out that it went. He rescued the violin.
That's true.
You know,
That's true.
he
That's
rescued
exactly.
it from all these forces in life that could take it.
That's true.
And he gave
They
it
don't deserve it.
Yeah.
that don't deserve it. Okay, for actually who it was originally intended for,
Mm-hmm.
right? Anyways,
When I say it's a weak ending, I don't mean what happened, like the intent behind what Samuel Jackson was doing. It's more how they did it. It was
Yeah,
more the
I think-
technique. They did it.
but I think he equally got obsessed with it. This is not
Absolutely.
something that he
Absolutely.
would normally do.
No,
It was like the
It pulled him to
it was
do
like the
this.
ring,
Yeah.
and then where's the
Yeah.
Yeah, it pulled
was
him
the-
to do it, but not in a bad
Yeah.
way.
That one, one of the
Lord
movies.
of the Rings.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, the ring. Yeah,
but it
My
was-
precious, the violin.
Okay, let's score
Oh.
this
Let's
thing.
score it.
Okay, so me, you.
okay, 9.
Yeah, I give it a 9.
12.
Nice.
I'll give it a 20.
Nice.
Okay. So.
We're back.